As it turned out, we spent all of March at Seabrook Marina in New Orleans, attending festivals and working on the boat. Then we took a day and accepted Wilson Fry's kind offer to store our truck and trailer on his place as we cruised. Once back to Gwen, we spent a few more days waiting on a decent weather window. Once the weather looked okay, at least for the next few days, we headed out. We had our choice. We could follow the ICW, Intercoastal Waterway, or jump out into Lake Pontchartrain. As it turned out, we could have taken the ICW. The wind was on our nose all the way to the next anchorage. On the lake, we never saw our depth gauge read more than 20 feet. Our first anchorage, North Shore, by the I-10 bridge, was nice, large, and well protected with excellent holding. We spent a nice, quiet night and got some sleeping, finally at anchor. From there, we had to motor, wind on the nose, wouldn't you know it, through the channels to and through the rigolettes. We called the CSX Railroad Bridge so that we could get them to open so we could pass through into the Mississippi Sound. We then made our next anchorage, actually not far out. This one was behind Rabbit Island. It was well protected from the waves and boat wakes, but the holding was not all that good. And once again, the depths in the channel never showed more than 20 feet. Whenever we talk to people who haven't cruised before, we like to tell them, you never know what to expect when you're on the water. We were anchored by a rusty hulk of a wrecked oil rig. But the excitement came when the National Guard helicopter started hovering, not 20 foot off the water and reeds, just 200 feet from us. Nice show, guys! It was then time to start our easting. Wouldn't you know it, the wind was coming out of the east, southeast. But once we passed Huron Bay Point and we could make our course more northeast, we got to raise the sail and had some fair motor sailing. However, that southeast wind was kicking up the waves in this shallow water, making it a pretty sloppy sail. We were looking at the Active Captain app on our Android tablet and saw a possible place to duck into called Pass Christian. So, hey, we're not on a schedule. It was a short tack to port, and we made a safe harbor. When we came into Pass Christian, this was the first time that we'd used pilings, as in no floating docks. So it did take us 2 tries and a couple helping hands on the dock to get us in safe and sound. I'd always wondered how it might be to Med Moore, our North Sea. We had a nice surprise when we pulled in. They were having the Po' Boy Fest taking place in the parking lot of the marina. Food and plenty of live music, an antique auto show, and more. We were planning to spend one night, but the weather report was forecasting severe thunderstorms. So once again, we decided we'd wait a little while, and besides that, the party was good. We dressed ship, and we even took part in blessing of the boats.
Thank you!
After all of the festivities, and after a cold front passed, we decided to move on. Although the skies were sunny, there was still a lot of short period swells, and it was not all that great and comfortable, so we decided to pull into Gulfport. They had a nice marina. It all looked very new, but it had some major drawbacks. The docks were not floating, and the tide was pretty great, so I wound up changing dock lines at 2 in the morning. Very early the next morning, we headed out. Our next destination was Biloxi. we decided to pull into the Cadet Point Harbor, and it was just behind Golden Nugget. We don't gamble, but it was pretty centrally located. As it turns out, I had inadvertently gotten an old chart chip from my supplier, and we needed a place to stay for a few days. Well, the company sent me a new one. So this was the place. As we were walking into town, we saw a tour taking place. So we got the phone number and actually took the tour ourselves. It was fun, lasted almost 2 hours, and we got the good layout of the town, so we knew what was going on where. We also picked up the local bus right in front of the casino, where they stop at all casinos, to do a little provisioning and shopping with our insulated backpack. And a very interesting shrimping tour. Taught us a lot about shrimp in the Gulf and about how the Bubba Gump story came about. One of the exceptional highlights of our stay here is that they were having Smoke in the Sound speedboat races. I was up at the harbor master's office, and he pointed out that they were going to launch and recover the boats in our marina, or the one we were in. That prompted us to stay a little longer, and I was certainly thrilled that I did. Kenny Mungle of the boat Gone Again was launching his and headed over by the dock, and I went down to talk to him. And I got one heck of a special invite that made me awfully happy.
Gone Again Skater. Gone Again Skater, right, Kenny?
Gone Again Skater.
And he'll make you his friend. You can follow him.
Right now.
It is the world's fastest 32-foot A skater.
He's got a GPS over here.
You also got a page that's Gone Again Skater Racing.
Okay. Gone Again Skater Racing. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, me too. Gone Again Skater Racing.
Put y'all pictures on there and see it.
Will you? Thank you, sir.
I can't change it. I can just.
Okay, Gone Again.
I'm on a boat over there. Oh, okay.
Although Jill wasn't with me when I was walking the dock and got the invite, I did manage to get her a souvenir. After the races, we survived 3 days and nights of severe thunderstorms, tornadoes close by, and flooding. It looks like dodging the storms is going to be a way of life for this part of the world at this time of year. That's it for now. We'll see you again next month.